nice to see you again. If you hear my dog barking, then that's probably because you heard another dog bark. As you can see, I'm not at uni. I'm at home for 2 weeks because I finished my exams. And I cannot really relax because I have a lot of uni assignments. But yeah, I wanted to shoot this video because I lost the footage because apparently I deleted it by accident. So today I wanted to talk about, maybe give you some book recommendations based on songs, but maybe it is more like song recommendation based on books if you have already read the books. So yeah, I also choose some lines out of the songs to have you like get a feel of the song if you do not know it, and you maybe also do not know the book, then you might kind of know what the book will be about or what the song is rather about. So yeah, I also have some real books this time because most of my books are back at home, but now I can show you some real books. And we are gonna start with the first song, which is Story of Us by Taylor Swift, and I chose the lines especially, I have to look it up. I used to think one day we'd tell the story of us, how we met and the sparks flew instantly. People would say they're lucky, the ones. I used to know my place was a spot next to you. And I could not choose any other book this song might turn pretty. I could not. I mean, summer is kind of late and I read it in summer and it was the perfect time to read it. Maybe you can already read it now, or you can put it onto your never-ending pile of TBRs and on the books you want to read in summer. But I think it's just the perfect fit, because it is essentially about a girl whose like long-time crush since her childhood is the one of the boys of the best friend of her mother, and they meet every summer They meet every summer in the beach house. They spend every summer in the beach house since her early childhood because the moms are her best friends. And she's so in love and has a crush on the older brother, as one does, not the younger one. But this gets quite complicated because the younger brother, well, they are best friends, and the older brother does not really recognize her as being really old or more like being a child still. There's also like, my sister is currently reading it, so there is a bookmark in it. But yeah, there is a bookmark in it. But yeah, this is the one I would recommend for it, definitely. Now I'm first gonna read the lyrics and then I'm gonna show you the book. Oh wait. Now I'm gonna show you the book first and then read to you the lyrics song that I chose. And it is quite a new song, and I think it's also quite a new book because it's called You've Reached Them. I only have that as an ebook version. I read it not long ago, and it is essentially about a girl who lost a boyfriend in a car accident, and then she's really sad and she just tries to call his number again. This is all of the grief. Not really expecting anything, right? Because if you call a number of a loved one, then the biggest thing that you hope is that not like a foreign person is going to pick up and the number has already transferred to another phone. But what she then experienced is that her boyfriend picks up. Like, dad boyfriend actually picks up and they have this conversation, and it's rather about like the hypothetical idea of what if you'd say all the things they were not able to say to the person that you loved so much before they died. I really loved it. It is, I don't know how the author does it, but it's light and full of grief at the same time. And so corresponding to this, the song I chose is this is what losing someone from, I think he's called Duke, something like this called, and especially the lines, you don't know when you're gonna lose them, now they're gone but you didn't make that call, because I think it's so fitting her that the last call that they had was not how, or like it did not end in the way, you know, when you say things to a person you do not really mean, but then it turns out those were the last things you ever said to the person. And so I think it's quite fitting and I really recommend. So the next one, we're gonna start with the lyrics first for the next one. And the lyrics are, you said let's get out of the town, drive out of the city, away from the crowds. And I think the Do-Over by Lynn Painter is obviously the book that the song just screams the Do-Over, I think. Or rather, the Do-Over screams this song, whatever you want to call it. I really love it. It is essentially about the time loop, and I already read one book about the time loop and it was not really well, so I was kind of afraid there was also like this dreading day after day experience, but it's not at all. It was not at all. It's essentially about a girl. I forgot her name. Oh my god. In the book, The Do-Over, Emily experience a not so nice Valentine's Day. She has all these things planned out, all the things about the future, that she has to get a scholarship to be able to go to college because her parents cannot afford it because they are divorced, and etc, and she has it all planned out. Valentine's Day, February the 5th, February the 14th, and it all goes horribly wrong. Everything goes like downhill, and then she's like, okay, at least tomorrow is the next day. But then she wakes up and essentially it's again Valentine's Day, and everything happens all over again and again and again, no matter how much she tries to change the events from happening. And then one day she's just so fed up with it that it's again the 14th, that she does everything completely like she would never done it, not even in her dreams, how she would never have behaved, because this is how she would like to behave in this situation. And well, then when she wakes up, it is February the 15th, and the day has changed, and everything that she made, every mistake she made on that day, every behavior she exhibited, it actually happened. And this is such a fun book. It's also again like with the other book, Better Than the Movie, Spelling Painter, which I already read, which is the first young adult romance book that she wrote. It is really like you would read a young adult romance rom-com. It is not weird at all. It's so good because it's just so fast-paced and it's so sweet and so cute. All the close-door romance you could wish for. So yeah, this is my recommendation for this song, and now let's move on. The next lyrics are from Come a Little Closer by Cage the Elephant, and they are the following. Come a little closer, then you see. Come on, come on, come on. Things aren't always what they seem to. And the book that I choose for this song is One of Us is Lying by Karen and Magnus, and it is essentially about 5 high school students who all end up in detention after school, but one of them dies during this detention time, and now all of them are being framed because all of them, essentially, because the person that died was one that publicated secrets about all the high school students, and all of them have not yet had it published about them. It was about, and they also get, essentially they get published, the secrets about them. But so they're all like possible suspects, and you also wonder throughout the book who could the one be that wanted the one that died, which is called one that actually died, the person like Simon. Who wanted Simon to be dead? Who wanted it so bad because they were so afraid of their secret getting told to the whole high school or to the whole world, essentially. So it's a really nice book. It's also pretty fast-paced, I think, and if you have not read a thriller in your life, because this was also my first, but it's more like a young adult thriller, right? But it was my first one and I really enjoyed it, so I can not recommend you this book enough. Next one that I would like to recommend you is Shadow Me. I only have the German edition here, so this cover looks quite different than from the English or American version, but it is about Juliet, and she has the power, if you touch her bare skin, essentially, then you die. And one day she is not that careful because out of an impulse she tries to help a little boy in the supermarket because he fell down, and she wants to help him up, but she does not have her gloves on, and so she touches him and he dies. And that is the moment that her life gets turned around even more than it already probably is in a society where no one else possesses these kind of powers, or so she thinks. And she gets, well, the government gets her and experiments are done on her, and we have like this dystopian apocalyptic kind of background going on in the story, and a lot of romance. I essentially love this part the most, but it's really good. It is really good. She's such an enduring character, and the song that I chose for her, therefore, I do not usually listen to The Weeknd, I have to say that, but the song that I chose is Heartless because I think it describes one of the love interests and one of the characters in the book pretty well. It says, low life for life, because I'm heartless. I lost my heart and my mind. I tried to always do right. I thought I lost you this time. And it does even fit better to the second book, and the second book is also the one that I enjoyed more than this one because there's way more romance going on. Yeah, if you have already read this, maybe you have already figured out what kind of character I'm talking about. I'm talking about Baron. I know, He's a character you are about to hate, but I love that I do not like him. So yeah, it's one of those characters you have to get maybe used to, but I think the song is quite fitting. So moving on to the next one we have, and it's also the last book that I'm going to recommend to you. I'm going to read the lyrics first, and maybe you can think of a book that would fit, and you can also, like, for every song that I said, maybe you could also try to come up with your own book recommendations. Which book do you think fits best to the song? Which song do you think fits best to which book that I already recommended? Okay, so the last song is I Live by One Republic, and the lines that I think fit most to the book content are: hope when the moment comes, you say, I did it all, I did it all. And the book is, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit far-fetched, but it's Fangirl essentially by Rainbow Rubble, and I really enjoyed the book because some books just make you want to write, and this is one of those. I was not able to put it down enough that I finally got out of my writing slump, and it held on for a long time, and now I'm again in a writing slump, and besides uni work I also do not know how to get out of it. But this book, I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna read to you the synopsis because I think I'm really bad. I'm going to read to you the synopsis. So, Kath and Ren are identical twins, and until recently they did absolutely everything together. Now they're off to university, and Ren decided she does not want to be one half of a pair anymore. She wants to dance, meet boys, go to parties, and let loose. It's not so easy for Kath. She would rather bury herself in the fan fiction she writes, where there's romance far more intense than anything she's experienced in real life. Now Kath has to decide whether she's ready to open her heart to new people and new experience. And she's realizing that there's more to learn about love than she ever thought possible. And I think the lyrics is quite fitting me because she eventually opens up. You know, this is the premise of the book. She eventually opens up and she says, well, I really do not want to have to regret anything. I want to do everything that I want to do without overthinking it. That's why I really love this book. So yeah. So these were all of my book recommendations. As I already said, if you have more book recommendations, please write them down in the comments. And if you like the video, please subscribe and leave a like. Maybe also leave a nice comment. That would also be cool and appreciated. And I hope to see you next time. Bye!